Hello my gorgeous babes out there and welcome. In today's video, I thought I would swatch all of my Adept Cosmetics palettes and go over each of them. Maybe this would be helpful for you if you were trying to figure out a Adept palette to pick up and try. And I just want to show you guys how beautiful the shimmers are in all of these palettes. But before we get into this video, if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Bree and I am just a crazy lover of all things beauty. And I like to post a lot of fun, colorful makeup content. I like to do a lot of stuff in indie makeup. So if those things you like to watch, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. I'd love to have you here. But with that being said, let's get into this video. So I thought it would be a good idea to do one of these videos because I saw that the Heather Austin palette is getting restocked, and then they are also coming out with another palette, I think on the 14th, the House of Ale. So they got some stuff in the works, and I just really love my Adept Cosmetics palettes, and I thought, hey, maybe I should swatch these for you guys because I think this would be helpful to see them swatch live, to see like the different color stories and how the shimmers look and all that, because these palettes are stunning and beautiful. All right, so I got a little closer so you guys can really see how beautiful these swatches are. I'm gonna start off with the plain Jane one. Now they did a remastered one, so this original one is not there, but all the reviews I watched on the remastered one said it's pretty much the same. Like the colors are the same and everything. There was just some like tweaks to the formula, so I think it's still worth watching this because it's basically the same color story. So this is what the plain Jane one looks like. Isn't it beautiful? It's all metallics, all shimmers. This one is like my favorite one out of all of the palettes, and I just can't wait for you to see how gorgeous this is. So the first shade is ACI 1. This one is like a bronzy shade, and it's a little bit more satin light. It's not as intense as some of the other shimmers in here, but it's still really pretty. It's perfect for like more like nudie looks. And then the next one is ACI 2. This one is more of like a taupey shade. It's so sparkly, and it's actually the shade I have in like the inner portion, and I just think it's gorgeous. This is perfect for more like nudie lovers because it's just such an intense like nudie taupe. It's so beautiful. Now going on to ACI 3. This one looks like just like a rosy pinky shade. This one is also really beautiful. I'm trying to make sure I can really show these swatches off. Like, oh my god, these are so sparkly. It's just such a pretty little pink. Then the next shade is ACI 4, which is more of like a warmer purple. These are just so pretty. I feel like swatching them on camera is not doing them justice. Like, you have to see them in person. But there's that beautiful like little purple moment. And then the next one is ACI 5. This one's a pink to like a green goldy shift. Ooh, yes. And then I'll swatch it right here. Oh, this one is super like striking and intense. That would be beautiful in the inner corner. But yes, this definitely has a like green goldy shift to it. Then going on to this one right here. This is ACI 6. This one looks like it's a purple maybe to a blue shift, or a blue to purple shift, or more like a violet shift. Oh yes. And then there it is. Yeah, see, it looks blue, but it definitely has a violet shift to this one. Very beautiful. Then the next shade is ACI 7, and this one is kind of pink to a green shift as well, but the green shift is super intense in this. Like, it's in my inner corner right now, and it looks very, very green. So here it is. You see how green it picks up on camera? This is also so beautiful in the inner corner if you just want to have like that green shift. Then going on to AC 18, which is a bluey shade as well, maybe blue and purple. And this is it right here. This is so beautiful. These all have like really pretty shifts to them. Then there's AC 19. I really love this one. It's a super green one. And there it's swatched out. Some of them like almost feel like more like putties. But I just love me my greens. Then we're going on to ACI 10, which is an iridescent shade. This one looks like maybe it has, yeah, like a real strong pink shift. These also make just beautiful inner corner highlights. They just have a, you know, unexpected little twist to them. These all look gorgeous. Then the next one is ACI 11. This one is super beautiful and intense, and you will see it's so gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, see, some are just so like sparkly and bright. I just like that there's like just variation in this palette. And then the very last one is this very beautiful hot pink one. This is ACI 12. This is so gorgeous all over the lids too. If you like a really bright hot pink shade all over the lids. I probably dig too hard in the pan, but you see how like vibrant of a pink that is? Oh gosh, that is so beautiful. So these are all the shades in the plain Jane one. I'll get close to you guys and see it all up close. Alright, so now let's get into the Ninhydrin palette, which looks like this. Well, here's the outer cover, and these are the shades. This one's a lot more like jewel tone, a little bit more cool tone, and I think this one is really pretty. It also has two mattes. It's not all shimmers like the first palette. So the first one is called ACM 31. So this is a very cool toned purple taupe shade, and it's very pretty. I'll show you guys right here. Now these mattes are more buildable. They're not like super pigmented right off the jump in this palette, but nice little purple shade. Then we have ACD 18. This one is definitely more like a satin. It's like a very light pink, and it's a little more on the drier end, but there's that one. It makes a really pretty inner corner highlight. Then going on to ACI 18. This one is a beautiful like rosy pink. This one is a lot more intense and sparkly. Sorry, I have some staining on my arms, but that is really pretty pink. Then this one is called ACI 22. And this one is like a very bronzy, browny shade. It's very like silky. Ooh, it looks like it has like a pink shift to this one. And there is that. Hopefully you guys can see it. And then the next one is a matte, which is ACM 32. This is more of like a grungy matte. It's a grungy brown, but kind of cool tone matte. Is that making any sense? But there, you see how it has like a little grunge to it? Then there's ACI 19, which is a purpley shade. But this one looks like maybe it has like a gold shift or something to it. This one feels like one of the sparkly ones. Oh yeah, this one kind of has like a taupiness to it. Like a more cool tone purple. Now we're going on to AC 120, this beautiful blue that has like a purple violet-y shift. Like, look at that. Oh God, that's stunning. This is such a beautiful shade. It's very vibrant. This is gorgeous. Then going on to this one, I really love this one. It's like a deep kind of like sapphire shade. This one is super sparkly. It has like a little sparkle specks all throughout. Oh yeah, nice and deep and like smoky sapphire. Here's the shade Ninhydrin, which is a purple. I think maybe this one has like a pinky shift to it. So beautiful. And this is going down here. I really like this purple shade. These two shades together for a look would be really pretty. Come on to AC 124. This one looks like it's a blue, maybe blue to green shift. This one's a little bit more textured. Oh, that looks beautiful. And there is that one swatched out. And then the very last one, which I think is like my #1 shade in this palette. It's very green. I love my greens. And there we go. Oh God, I picked up way too much of that shade. But there it is. I wasn't even swatching it on screen. But these are all the shades in the Ninhydrin one. I'll get closer so you guys can see them. Then the next palette is the Amunet Nu Palette. This was their take on a more nudie palette. Now if you like more mattes in your palette, then maybe you'll prefer this one because this has a good amount of mattes. Now you also have to like cool tones, and I think they have like a dark and light version of this palette. I did pick up the dark version. So we're gonna get right into it. These ones actually have names instead of like numbers and letters. So the first one is Osiris. I think that's how you say the name. This one is just a very cool tone, like chocolatey metallic, more like a satin though. And I'll swatch that right here. I actually really like this take on neutrals. It's just like a way more interesting neutral palette. And I love my cool tones. So there it is. It's a very smoky, deep brown. Then going on to the matte. So we have Horus, I think that's how you say it. This one is a kind of like gray matte. Yeah, it's a gray matte. I'll put that right here. These ones definitely have more pigment than the mattes that were in the Ninhydrin one. So I feel like when this palette came around, they kind of improved the matte formula more. Then there's the shade called Seth, which is a deeper blue. It's a nice blue. Definitely easy to work with. I enjoy these mattes in this palette. Then going on to, is it Pata? I'm not sure how you say that word, but this one's a beautiful purple matte. I mean, this palette leans, you know, definitely more on the gray side. The next one is called Re. I feel like this one probably has like a gray base to it. It's very like gray and smoky. So there's that one. This one is a very kind of gray base taupey shade, but it does have somewhat of like a green shift to it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but like in person I can see that there's a green shift to it. It's definitely more on the satin side. Then the other one, Hathor. This one is really beautiful. This one has a green shift to it. It's like an iridescent green shifty shade. Oh, look at that. This makes such a beautiful inner corner highlight. I love this one. It's like my favorite shade in the palette. Like, look at that green shift. Now going on to Anubis, which this one has a gray base to it too. It's very taupey and gray, but also like with that purple shift to it. Like I said, everything leans very gray in this palette, but it's really beautiful. It's just a very gray, cool toned purple. Then we have Thoth, I think that's how you say it. This one is just like a, you know, nudie beigey matte, really good to like, you know, blend out the edges or set your primer. I don't really use shades like this, but if you do, there's one in this palette. Then there's the shade called Bastet. This one looks like it has like a coppery, orangey like shift to it. This one is leaning more like a satin. Ooh, like a coppery reddy shade, maybe? I'm terrible at describing how these shades look. And then the next one is Amon, which is kind of like a nudie peachy beige. So this one is a little bit more warm tone, but it goes really well with this shade right here. And look how pigmented that was. Next one is Nephesi. Oh my god, I'm butchering these names. But this one is also really beautiful and super foiled and like very green. Oh, this is also one of my favorites in the palette. Like, look at that. That is absolutely stunning. And the last shade in here is a very cool toned brown called Imhotep. And it's a matte. This one is also very pigmented. Like, look how deep and dark that is. Nice and chocolatey and intense. But those are all the shades in this palette. Like, you see, it leans a lot more muted, a lot more neutral. This is the dark version, so I'm not sure how the light version is, but I'll show you guys up close all the shades. Now getting on to the Heather Austin palette. I love this one. This is my most recent one from Adept. Heather Austin did such a good job with this collab. It was like ranked super high in my recent palette ranking because it's stunning. This one also has mattes in it. There's 4 mattes in here and then the rest are shimmers. So I'm gonna get right into it. So the shade called Video Chat, which I think this one is like kind of reddy and orange on the shift. It's a very like fiery shade, but it's, oh my god, look at that. I feel like the shimmers are even more stunning in this palette. Then the next shade is called Passport, which I will be using very soon. Is this one right here. This one is like a violet kind of like purpley shift. It's very intense. Oh, that is so beautiful. I love these shades in here. The metallics are just extra intense in this palette. Then the next one is called So Excited, which is a taupey metallic, but it has a lot of little shimmer specks in it. It's so pretty. So there we go. There, oh, that taupe is so gorgeous. I love a good taupey nude metallic. Then the next one is called 0603. Which, I don't know how to describe this one. Maybe it has a rosy tone to it. It has like little like blue specks throughout it as well. Oh yes. So there is 0603. What am I saying? This one actually looks a little bit more taupey. I'm so bad with these descriptions. Then going on to the matte. So there's this beautiful green right here called Magnolia. It's very pigmented too. Like, look at that. I love a deep green. And the mattes here are very pigmented in this palette. Then going on to Mythology, a nice little grungy yellow that has like a little green to it. I'm never gonna say no to a grungy shade like this. So there it is, Mythology. Now going on to the one that starts with a P, PAO2. This is kind of like a plummy burgundy shade. Nice and deep as well. You have a lot of beautiful like deep mattes in here. Look how pigmented that is. Then we have Atlas right here, which is like a puppy brown is how I would describe it. Looks a little warm tone, but I feel like on the eyes it kind of pulls cool tone. But there is Atlas. Now we have the shade called Scrubs, which is like a shifty dual chrome one, like a purple blue shift dual chrome with like kind of like a black base to it. It's more like on the deeper side. Ooh, that could make such a beautiful like smoky look. Next one is Hey Y'all, which this one looks more like purple. And there's that one. This is Hey Y'all. Yes, it's a nice like kind of sparkly cool tone purple. Then the next shade is Austin. I love this one. It is so beautiful and intense. And this one has like a greeny shift to it. Like, look at that. That is so beautiful. So, oh my god. Like, this is like galaxy shade or something like that, you know? See from the stars and stuff. Oh my gosh. And it's so creamy and intense. Ooh, look at all those shifts. Then the last shade is called Smith, which is more like a satin. This is like a greeny dual chrome shade. This is my favorite kind of dual chromes. Oh, like a gold to green. Maybe there's some orange to it. And this one looks so beautiful all over the lids. If you like multi-chromes that have that like beautiful shift, And there are all the shades in the Heather Austin palette. So I'll show you guys again up close. Okay, so those were all the palettes swatched out. I got to show you guys how beautiful all the shades are in the different palettes. Hopefully this was helpful when showing you guys like the different color stories, the different shades, whether like it would fit for you or not based on how like the color stories are on the setups. Some have more mattes, like the Amunet Nu one has the most mattes. It's a more nudie palette. They have a light version of this one. So maybe if you're looking for just a interesting nude palette, this would be really good. If you're looking for ones that have like more like cool tone jewel tones, these have two like kind of brownie mattes. This one is more of a purple. But these are really beautiful if you're looking for jewel tones and like really sparkly shades like that. Then if you're looking for like an all sparkle metallic palette that has like their really special shades, I would suggest the Plain Jane one. They have the remastered one now, but the shades are pretty much the same. And this one has like a mix of color and like neutral metallic. So you can do a lot with this if you want to go more neutral one day or a little bit more colorful. I think this is like a good option if you want something in between and you want all special shades in one palette. Then we have the Heather Austin palette, which I think just restocked today, so hopefully it's still available. But if you want a mix of a little bit of like more matte and then all these like really special metallics, and a lot of these are leaning a little bit more neutral. You can do a little bit more toned down looks, or you can like amp it up with the mattes and just do something super intense and colorful. So this one is so beautiful. I think this has a good mix to it too. That was it. That was all the swatches and everything. But you guys will have to let me know in the comments below, was this helpful? What did you think? Have you picked up any of these palettes? Are you thinking about picking any of them up? I would love to hear from all of y'all. And if you're new here and you enjoy this video, you like a lot of fun, colorful content, a lot of stuff in indie makeup, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. Also, don't forget to check out the description below. I will have these palettes linked where you can find them. I will also link the rest of my makeup I'm wearing. I will also link other videos of mine that I've done and any reviews I've done on any of these palettes. I will also have my contact and my social media platforms. I'm also on Instagram as Breezy Lifestyle and Breezy_beauty. So if you want to check me out over there, see some other content. I'll probably be putting a lot on my lifestyle one because I'm about to travel. I got a lot of travel videos coming. And then my Breezy_beauty has like a lot of different beauty stuff, little makeup tutorials on there. So check that one out as well. I would love for you to join my Instagram fam. But guys, that was everything. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, for hanging out with me for a bit and supporting my channel. I really appreciate it, and I just hope you guys are all doing well wherever you are in the world, and I'm just sending you guys all so much light and love. But until next time, bye guys.